Hey there, everybody. We're here for a new episode of the show that's yet to be named. Decade by decade, we're talking 2010s animated sitcoms. I'm here with Toronto Franco. I'm here with P. Papa Parkinson, your old man Putty Pal. Plug something, Putty. Plug something for the people.
My phone, my PlayStation 5, and my Gamer Potheads YouTube channel.
I like that. That was a triple. The other guy.
JohnnyDonuts777. That's all you'll ever need.
And you can find me at Kendall Jenner on Instagram. So, I mean, you know the rules by now. If you don't, I'm going to tell you anyways. First 3 years of the decade, first 3 years of the show, first 3 seasons of the show have to be in the decade, or the last 4 seasons. I think the first 3 seasons of a show are more important than the last 4.
Mm-hmm.
No animes, no children-esque superhero cartoons or anything like that. Can't be on Fox
So
Kids or
SpongeBob, get the
Nickelodeon.
hell out of here.
Yeah.
Spawn is allowed. No Blues Clues. So we're actually in the same order as last time. So Buddy, why don't you kick it off?
Okay, so this is the only camp I have is number 5, and that is Brickleberry and Major Lazer.
I forgot about me.
I love it. That first episode was made for me. Come on, think about the first episode of Major Lazer. What is it about?
Yes,
I'll give it to you. We're not going to talk about it on here.
I totally forgot about Major. Yeah, I totally forgot about Major Lazer.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Other guy.
My number 5 is Disenchantment.
Oh, I forgot about that show. I haven't got to watch all the episodes either. Dang
Actually
it.
good.
It
got better every season, I think. Whereas if you check it critically, they say it got worse every season.
But the writing is actually smarter as it goes on.
Oh, it got way better.
Yeah.
Like the first season is not good at all. I mean, it's watchable. But anyways.
That's probably why it's grumpy anyway.
You'll like it.
Yeah.
My 5 is a Caps. It's my only Caps on this list. It's Bob's Burgers. And I cheated with this one. It probably only has 1 season in the decade, but I just wanted it on my list and I want to promote it. It's Final Space. It's the best show that nobody is watching.
Okay.
If this show gets canceled, I will be so upset because he's planned
Space.
it.
I got it right.
It's a perfect cross between Futurama and like Rick and Morty. But it actually has a real storyline, a continuous storyline that's been going the whole time.
Okay.
Oh, based on what you just said too, John, I think there's gonna be 2 episodes, 2 shows that I put in my honorable mentions that I didn't put in my top 5 list. That's gonna be controversial, but I liked them, but they just weren't my favorite. So
that's fine. Okay. So yeah, Final Space, Bob's Burgers. If you guys can watch Final Space, watch it. It's season 3 just finished. He wants to do 5 seasons and then end it.
Okay, I'll definitely look into that one.
It might be on Netflix.
Okay.
Putty?
Oh, number 4.
Good morning.
Yeah, no, you're good. I just didn't know where we're at. Okay, number 4. Yeah, you're good. Hi, how's it going?
Good morning, Miss Bliss.
My number. Good morning, Zach. No, wait. So number 4 for me is Solar Opposites.
I mean, okay. That's I'll allow it in the same vein because it only had 1 season. But I think that's a fair thing because I'm not waiting 10 years to make another list.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll allow it.
Which means, okay, fair. Oh, well, then that means number 2 you're going to be so mad about.
No, like, it's okay. Well, we're going to be flex. This is the only list where we're allowing flexibility.
Okay.
Because it's still,
the 2000 or the sitcoms, decade by decade.
It just dawned on me. This is, actually, I don't think we'll even, okay, I'm going to switch up stuff. Go ahead. Keep going.
You just go.
My number 4?
Yeah, go.
Am I going? Okay, my number 4 is Archer.
Well, that's perfect because my number 4 is Archer. So let's talk about Archer for a second.
Well, then, wait, can we just go and continue from here? Because my number 3 is Archer.
All right, so let's just.
So there we go.
Let's have a 3-way shebango. I think Archer took a long time to grow on me.
Yeah.
Originally, I believe it came on Netflix around season 4 or 5, and I did not like it. I had seen bits and pieces on TV. I tried watching it. I couldn't. Then one day I was like, I'm just going to give this a chance. And every season as it went along kept getting better. And I was like, oh my gosh, this show is amazing. I love the 3 seasons where we won't get spoilers, but
yeah,
it's like up in the air what's happening, and they're going back and forth through time, and they're in space, and I love those seasons. And a lot of people didn't like them, but I love
those.
them.
I agree with that. Those were the best seasons for me as well.
Archer Vice.
Yes, the 80s. That was so good. And H. John Benjamin, like,
Yeah, I mean, that's why I got Bob's Burgers on here. I love Bob's Burgers. Another show that took me a while to get into, but as I progressively watched it, it really pulled me. It's the better version of The Simpsons right now.
Yeah, it's a very, very smart show. Very smart show with the underlying subtext in the episodes. It's really, really good. Well, going into the number threes then, since you already did your number three, my number three is Rick and Morty. Only because I only started getting into Rick and Morty within the last year.
You know what's funny? We were at. Do you remember when it was called Doc and Marty, and it wasn't like a full show? It was just like little like skit things. And we talked about it at somebody's wedding, and I like hadn't heard.
Yes, it was your cousin.
Was it?
It was Nick and Julia's
and your
wedding.
sister kept telling me you got to watch the show, and I was like,
yes.
okay, I'll give it a chance.
Because my sister's husband is a huge Back to the Future fan.
Yes, which I am as well. So I was like, okay, and I watched it, and like my brother watched it.
Shout out to Lorenzo.
We've been absolutely hooked on it. Everyone I know loves Rick and Morty. Great show. My number three, I don't care what anybody says. It might be number three on this list, but it's probably one of my favorite shows ever, period. It's American Dad. I think the 2010s era of American Dad is near flawless. And they're putting out 20-something episodes a season. And when you look at it compared to what Family Guy has become, it's crazy that American Dad consistently gets better, and Family Guy is like a Cleveland show disappeared.
Yeah, Family Guy is a parody of itself now.
It is. And that's why I think in the early 2000s, it was a really good show when it got canceled, and then it came back, and then it got canceled again. That era was really good. Like when he hits his knee and he's like, for like 5 minutes. That's classic Family Guy. But I mean, American Dad is so good.
I think with Family Guy too, I think they tried to see how far they can push the envelope, and sometimes a lot of the jokes are really tasteless.
Yeah, like, you know what I found too? It's a hard show to watch. Like, you put something on when you're not having like a good day and you just want to watch it. And for a cartoon that's like funny, but every episode someone's dying of something. Did you ever notice that? It's really strange. Everybody has cancer on that show.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell is going on?
It's a dark. It can get dark.
Yeah, I don't know. But American Dad, if anyone who's not watched it or jumped off the wagon, just trust me, it gets really good after season 10. And it just keeps getting better.
I'll definitely get back into that because that's one of my honorable mentions.
And the son, Steve, brings all the nerd stuff to the show, which is like, he's like the Putty of the show. Okay, Putty.
Okay, so for number two, I actually had something else, and the reason it was there is because I wasn't even thinking. I still thought we were in the 2010s for some reason, and it came out 2021, literally this year. So I had to put an honorable mention in there. So for number two, I put BoJack Horseman. He was actually at the tip of being a number 5 for me, and then I was like, oh, I can't forget one of my favorite shows that just came out, and I was like, wait, that's 2021. I didn't even think about that till now. Literally,
but BoJack Horseman is a continuation. It's an older show.
No.
The other show he was going to put.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the other show I had in there. I'll tell you right now what it is. My number 2 was MODOK, but it's a 21
no,
series.
It's brand new.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't thinking that when I was putting the list together.
That's also superhero.
I know that counts. That's adult.
No, that would count as a sitcom. Yeah, it would definitely count as sitcom if you look at it. But especially if you've watched it. But yeah, BoJack Horseman's still a phenomenal show. I would adjust my list and put Archer to number 2 now. But of course, I do still love BoJack Horseman, so I still feel it deserves.
It's in that same vein.
Yeah, exactly. So
excellent. My number 2, Adventure Time.
Oh,
I'll allow it because I'll allow it under the guise that it is technically it was never meant to be for kids.
No,
and
kids just latched onto it.
It just somehow kids latched onto it, and it got moved to a time slot for kids because it was not like an early morning cartoon.
It didn't start off that way. No.
Yeah, it was started off as like early, like to like nighttime. It was on at like 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Darn it! I don't want to go redo this list now.
No, don't redo it. You got an exception. He gets an exception. I got an exception.
We're gonna
no, my exception didn't actually go through.
Listen, we're gonna bring back I'm going to do actual animated cartoons by decade. So you can always bring it on another list. He burned it. He just burned his.
Yeah,
don't worry, I got lots.
No, you could bring it back. But yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah. It was a very, like I said, even though some of the episodes could be garnered to kids, I just love the camaraderie between Jake and Finn.
Yeah.
Like and you talk about how you love your buddy cop. These are like two best friends going out on it. I just love like heartwarming shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I got a heart.
I just forgot his name, but what's his name that does the voice of Jake is one of my favorite voice actors. Like
Bender Rodriguez.
Yeah, exactly.
John DiMaggio.
Yep, he's one of my favorite voice actors out there. So definitely
one of the best. It's like him and Tara Strong are on everything.
Yeah. Yep. Maurice LaMarche.
Yeah. Oh, you know who else is on a lot of things? Phil Lamar.
Phil Lamar, yes,
he's huge.
He carved out a niche for himself, and he's so good.
Yeah. What did I just watch recently with him? He did a voice of someone. Something recent. Oh,
he's done like everything.
The Masters of the Universe reboot.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, number 2, BoJack Horseman. One of the very few things I've ever rated a 9 on Instagram. It's just like a really good show. I mean, there is one season. It eludes me right now which one it specifically is, but I think it's 4 or 5 that I didn't really like. And
I actually like just like the first 2 seasons the most. I'll be honest with you.
No, the last season, man, hits so hard.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my! You'll literally cry. Like,
no way, really?
It's a really good.
It's like he comes to terms with everything. Like, he's evolved. He's ruined everybody's lives, and there's like,
but see, I don't know if I want to see him go that deep. Like, I hate watching shows end.
BoJack Horseman is a show you need to see end because it ends so well. It's
fitting for the character.
It's totally worth it. It's only being beaten by one show for me.
Me too.
Putty.
Number 1.
Yep.
Yeah,
Rick and Morty. That's Rick and Morty. I mean, I even though here's the thing, I'm going to say this right now, and I just want to put this out there. There are a lot of really toxic Rick and Morty fans, and I hate knowing that there are toxic Rick and Morty fans. But when you sit down and actually want to enjoy a show, Rick and Morty is brilliant in the way that it's fun. It knows what it is. And that's the thing, though. The problem is the fans are what ruin the show. You know what I mean? If you take that out and see the hardcore fans, I feel it's a great show. So for me, number 1, Rick and Morty.
But that's the same with any large IP, I guess. There's going to be toxic fans out there. Like, even if you want to relate it to gaming, try to play Call of Duty.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
that's right. Even what you play, Fortnite, there's going to be toxic people in those communities too. I play GTA Online. There's griefers everywhere. So off topic, but my number 1 was mentioned already. It's Bob's Burgers. It's such a smart show. The voice acting of everyone is fantastic. The fact that Gene looks like Eugene Merman.
Yeah, listen, they nail that, and they also the fact that they got what's his name, Kevin Kline.
Yes, Kevin Kline, Mr. Fishoder.
Mr. Fishoder, like, that's a huge name, especially for when the show first started, because you could feel its very small roots when it first started.
Yeah,
it's like, and what the creator of the show? What's his name?
I forgot the name of the creator.
He plays the wife.
Yes, is it John or something?
Anyway,
Richard. Yeah. But yeah, he is. That's right. He does.
It was like they were small, like, and at that time, Kristen Shaw and
she was a nobody back then.
They were small comedians still who blew up from that.
Well, see,
Kristen Shaw is fantastic.
She's my favorite part of that show. Here's the thing: the reason it got an honorable mention for me is I love the show, but I haven't really delved into it as much. And I think honestly, the reason I actually delved into it was the Archer episode. The Archer episode is when I first started really getting big into Bob's Burgers. But then the problem is we still have life and time. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, Bob's Burgers, I'm not saying it's bad. It just I didn't get to see a lot of it. And once they got more and more episodes, I kind of fell behind. So I definitely need to go back and watch it.
I find the reason why I put Bob's Burgers number 1 is I find what it takes that like pop culture element that South Park takes, but throws in a more subtle parody towards it as well. And it's done a lot. Where South Park, it's like right in your face. Whereas
Yeah.
Bob's Burgers, it's more subtle, more underlining. There was a whole Brony episode, like that was fantastic, right?
Oh, Bronies
Like,
is great.
yeah, it's probably one of my favorite.
I love their
episodes.
spooky episodes. That's
Yes.
like a thing that I always like. And correction, he was not the creator. Dan
no.
Mintz plays Tina Belcher,
Yes.
and John Roberts plays Linda.
I knew it was John something who played Linda.
And yeah, you know, it's a great show. So, but we'll get into more discussion here. My number one, Rick and Morty. I just had a lot of discussions today specifically about people not liking the new season. I don't know if either one of you has watched it. I think it's great.
I love it.
I haven't got to it yet because, like I said, I'm late to the party. I only started watching. I'm only on season 2 right now, so I just started it this year.
Season 3 is great.
Does.
Season 4, I didn't initially like love it, and then I rewatched it, the whole thing, and I was like, okay, I like it. And then I rewatched it again recently when I was doing some editing here. I watched like the whole show in 2 days, and season 4 is great. And then this season right now, episode 7 of season 5 is arguably the best in any show.
Okay,
Such a geek factor.
I'm definitely looking forward to it.
It keeps getting better. I think it's really
half
smart.
an episode. I caught half an episode this season. It was the one I didn't want to watch it all because I didn't want to spoil the season for me. But it was the one where he had to age the wine and he keeps going back and ruining the civilization.
Yeah.
And I thought that was hilarious. So smartly done.
Yeah.
So it's something, like I said, I got into recently, and that's why it's a little lower on my list.
I mean, it's fair.
And I'm
You see the
forward.
potential.
Yeah, and I see the potential. I'm going to stick with it, obviously.
Watch Final Space. Just
Final Space.
Final Space will shock you. You're not going to be You're going to think it's like a really stupid show, but it's so well done.
Sometimes you like watching a stupid show.
I mean, but come on, Rick and Morty though, really well put together.
It's a smart show. Very smart show.
And it's so over the top and relentlessly like vicious, but it never feels like it crosses the line like Family Guy does. And I'm not even someone who gets offended. I'm not going to tell you that anything that happens on Family Guy offends me, but sometimes when they do things, I'm like, why? Like, what was the point of that?
It's shock value.
Yeah.
Is what they're going for at that point, even though Seth MacFarlane is such a smart writer.
He is, because you could see it in American Dad is so American Dad, you can feel it. I'm telling you, when you get into the newer stuff, it's his passion. That's where all of his good material is going. He like, this show is just so well put together. The voice acting,
he's given
really
up
good.
on Family Guy kind of
thing.
I
think
guess
everyone has. It's so much money put into it.
Like, I mean, sadly, I still watch it, but the thing is, even when I watch it, it's just more of like a nostalgia.
I watch it too. There's still every season has like 3 or 4 really good episodes. It's just not consistently good. And he recently just said that he wants Family Guy to get off of Fox. He wants to get rid of the deal with Fox. He wants to move it to another network because he doesn't like the way that it's being controlled.
Like, I feel like Adult Swim would be perfect.
Imagine if you could have Family Guy, but you could swear the whole time.
I know.
I think
that's why I said it needs to go over to Adult Swim or something like that.
Okay. Anyways, let's redo the list. Okay. JD, you can go, I guess.
Me? Okay. Disenchantment at number 5, Archer number 4, Rick and Morty number 3, Adventure Time number 2, and Bob's Burgers number 1.
I just realized we gave you 2 exceptions. Okay, go.
Okay, so number 5 is The Tie, Brickleberry, and Major Lazer. Number 4 is Solar Opposites. Number 3 is Archer. Number 2 is BoJack Horseman, and number 1 is Rick and Morty.
All right,
yes, for me, I just realized my number 5 was
number 5,
Solar Opposites,
Bob's Burgers, and Final Space. That's number 5. Number 4, Archer. Number 3, American Dad. Number 2, BoJack Horseman. Number 1, Rick and Morty. I think this decade was maybe not as many shows, but or at least quality. I didn't write down, but the quality is way better. If you guys came for the list, that's the list, and then we're gonna do other things. Get out of here. All right.
Okay, so one honorable mention I want to bring up, a lot of people don't know about the show, but it's very short-lived, very small. Even the episodes are small. My God, I loved it. But I put in honorable mentions because there wasn't much to it, and it's called Mr. Pickles. Have you guys ever seen it?
I've heard of Mr. Pickles. I've never watched it.
Oh my God, Mr. Pickles is a great show about a dog that just like is a vicious dog, but his owner, this kid, has no idea. So like the dog will rip apart a person, then come back and be like, "Good boy." He doesn't know, no idea.
There was a show. I don't know the name of it. When you mentioned Major Lazer, it triggered something in my head. There was this,
are you talking about Chinatown, Illinois?
no, it's with two brothers with a moving company.
Oh, the Lucas Bros.
The Lucas Bros.
And they were the two twin brothers from 21 Jump Street. And they only had 2 seasons, and it was really good.
Yes. That's what I wanted. I couldn't remember that. And I just remember there was an episode with Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah. That's like at the second or third episode.
Yeah. Yeah. The Lucas, that's it. The Lucas Bros. That's the one. Yeah.
That's a good call. I forgot about that show. When that show first came out, I was so like enamored with these twins that like did everything the same, and it was funny that I was like, I have to watch this show. And it was just like, Lucas Bros Moving Company. Yeah.
And then of course,
if number 5 is an exception, I could always switch it out and put BoJack, because that was my number 1 honorable mention.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll allow it. We're gonna leave your list.
Okay.
Buddy, tell me about Brickleberry, because that was on my honorable mentions.
Yeah, well, no, Brickleberry, here's the thing. Daniel Tosh was what drew me into that, okay? Of course, because he kept that advertising on Tosh.0. But then I started watching the first episode alone. Dragged me in because of what's his name? I can't think of the guy's name. The one that's very sensitive. I'm having trouble with the characters' names.
I don't remember anybody's names. I'm the wrong guy to ask
all I know is Malloy, which is again the bear that's played by Daniel Tosh. But basically, it's about a bunch of people that are what do you call them? The people that work rangers. They're
park rangers.
Yeah, park rangers. And the main ranger has a pet bear named Malloy. It's a cub, you know what I mean? But it's the most sadistic. It's like their version of Eric Cartman or something like that, you know what I mean? But he gets away with everything, and he's the most meanest thing ever. But it's the most hilarious thing. Of course, you have a very manly, feminine woman, or not feminine, but manly woman that wants to be loved, that loves the other female. That's very slutty, I guess you saw it. And then you have Phil Lamar's character. Well, not Phil Lamar. Sorry, not Phil Lamar. God, what's his name? He said Phil Lamar. I can't think of his name. Anyway, but he actually plays the guy that's addicted to older women. Like there's so much to it that makes it so hilarious. They make great characters, but I just feel like it's one of those shows that's kind of like hidden and people miss out on it. So
his name was Jerry Minor. It was Denzel.
That's it. Yep.
So I liked Brickleberry. I'm not like a roll around loving it type of guy, but I did like Brickleberry. There's also another show that they made, if you have not seen it. It's called Paradise PD.
Yes, it's on
the exact same show. It's identical in every single way to Brickleberry. It's a group of cops instead of forest rangers. There's the same amount of people. There's one talking animal. There's one fat guy instead of the fat girl. And it's exactly the same, but it's awful. It's so bad, and I cannot stand it. This first season is watchable, but season 2 and 3 are so bad. And it's like, they should have just brought back Brickleberry.
I agree.
Yeah. I never watched Paradise PD, so I'm not going to bother with it. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with it.
It's about Argyle meth. They make Argyle meth.
Nice.
So
Argyle.
Yeah, nice. Okay, I do want Solar Opposites, but he had it on his list. But I mean, that was my number 1 honorable mention, and I thought this was going to be me sneaking one in, but Putty really snuck it in. This is
freaking love it.
The first season of the show was better than season 4 of Rick and Morty.
Yes,
really. But for me, the second season it didn't get worse, but it didn't elevate. It was either a little bit lower or about the same, and I was expecting them to come out just like Rick and Morty, and every season is going to be better than the last one, and it wasn't, and I was kind of disappointed. But
really, I liked season 2, but even though it wasn't as good
as season 1.
Yeah,
but season 1 came out, and it's like boom. If you haven't seen Solar Opposites, watch Solar Opposites.
And I can't think of his name, but what's his name's shirts? I'm always looking to see what his shirt says.
I just forgot their names. I was about to say it, and I just forgot.
Yeah, that's a show I have not watched.
It's Rick and Morty, basically.
Okay.
But with aliens, just literally just aliens.
Just they're aliens instead of humans.
They're basically aliens that are trapped on Earth. One wants to leave, another wants to stay, and then they have 2 children. One of the children is actually played by the young boy in Goldberg's.
Okay.
Yeah, he actually does the voice of him. And then the girl,
Sam Giamonstrano or whatever his name is.
Yeah, and it's brilliant.
And the girl is Kristen Shaw, isn't it?
Oh, is it Kristen Shaw? Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's really well done. And
okay.
The only thing is it's a little bit too similar to Rick and Morty, but I don't care.
Okay.
It's a really well made show, and it has a dual storyline, which I won't spoil for you. But the secondary
Oh my
storyline,
god, I love
the
the
wall,
secondary
is
stuff.
really good. It's the
Like,
best part of the show, probably.
Like I want for some
All
reason
right.
in my head, I want like a real version of that wall into a real movie. Like seriously.
But yeah, well, actually, for Brickleberry, I just wanted to say this:
Yeah.
the girl, the female in the show, is played by Natasha Leggero.
She's hilarious.
I remember it being Caitlin Olsen from Always Sunny the whole time. This is another Mandela effect. I watched the whole show. I watched it maybe twice, and I was like convinced that it's her.
Yeah.
And then I started watching it recently just to have it on in the background, and I'm like, let me just look it up because what year was she doing this show? And I looked at it, and I'm like, wait, it's not her. I was like, oh my gosh, this whole time. But
yeah, there you go. I got a couple. Steven Universe, I really liked.
Oh, recounting Steven Universe though,
I don't know.
it's a bit more kiddie than the other one.
That's the reason why I didn't put. That's why I also didn't pick Gravity
yeah.
Falls, because I feel like Gravity Falls was more the
Same
kiddie
idea,
version
yeah.
of the Rick and Morty. You know what I mean?
But it is a good show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Until the last season, Steven Universe. It kind of
I think that's garnered more towards like that early, like the 14, 15-year-old age group, but it's a really well written show. I think that's, and like you said, that's why it's garnered towards a younger audience, and it didn't make my top 5. But I just got to mention it.
That one is like it fit in the slot, the time slot that had like Gumball and
because
stuff like
that's
that.
another thing. I actually didn't know anything about Amazing Gumball, and then what actually drew me to that show, and I'm actually just starting to watch it, was there's this a web series called Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, and I heard they did an episode called Puppets. And in the puppets of a Gumball, they actually have the guys that do the puppets of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared make the puppets for that show. And I never went to go watch the show, and I never knew what it was until that I found out they did an episode, went and watched it. And I was like, I love this. So now I'm going back to watch the whole series just because of one episode, because I love the animation style with the real background. It's really cool. So
there's another good show that's from this exact same time frame that's slotted in right around that, and it was about a fat kid. Oh my god, I'm just gonna Clarence.
Yes,
Clarence is pretty funny too. The first season was pretty funny.
I remember Clarence.
So that's why Cartoon Network is so different than what we have here. Like our thing is Teletoon, and like for example, an original Teletoon show is I think Brace Face. I don't know if you know that, or
Forget About It.
Forget About It. Total Drama Island. Total Drama is awesome. Actually, it's basically Survivor, but like a cartoon version. But
Forget About It is actually on my honorable mentions.
Yeah, Forget About It is a good show. But you guys, so our time slots work like there is children's shows, and then as soon as like 7 o'clock hits, it becomes all adult shows. Where you guys have like a weird transition of like at like 4 o'clock, it starts to become like for teenagers, and then after like 9 o'clock, it's like adult shows.
See, I honestly don't know, because you gotta remember when I stopped watching actual like network TV is when like
I don't
Rick
watch
and
network
Morty.
TV.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. I don't know the time slots for that. Like with Rick and Morty and everything, I see everything online. You know what I mean? So even with the new episodes, I either purchase the episodes or see them through a streaming service. So it's like, I don't know that time frame. So for example, I like Amazing Gumball is a prime example. Like every time I see a picture of it, I was like, okay, this looks like a kid show. I would never get into it. But then something that
it's not bad.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where something will reference it. They'll say, "Oh, I did an episode in there," and I go, "Okay," and I'll go watch it. Or like when you guys talk about it, you know what I mean? So,
all right, well, let's keep this going here. So I got another one, Corner Gas animated. I love Corner Gas. I might be in the minority here. Somebody loves it because it's been on. It was on the air. It was on the air for like 8 seasons. It got a movie, and then it got the animated series, which just is about to end. I think it either ended this year or next season.
This year. I think it's ending this season.
I love how it has so many seasons I've literally never heard the name.
Oh, this is Canadian show.
Yeah, just like wasn't there a Trailer Park Boys animated too?
Yes,
that
which I was going to say
that was on Netflix.
I'm not a huge fan. The first season was okay. The second season sucked.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. It was a little awkward because when they started the first season, I do like that they entered about the whole hallucinogenics. Like, oh, that's the reason why they're there is because they took too much acid, which it made it funny. But I think what happened is I love Leahy. All right, I love Leahy to death. I'm it's sad that he's dead, but I hate that they kind of just used his voices to carry him on. Because nothing against the show; it's a great show, but I feel like that whole Leahy storyline is with I can't think of his name right now, is very convoluted.
Randy.
So I feel like Randy. I feel like the Randy and Leahy thing. I feel like they kind of just need to make maybe Randy kind of just be picked on with the rest of the guys and kind of. I love Leahy to death. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like they need to kind of continue on, or just don't do it at all.
Yeah, they need to at least reference some way that Leahy passed away. Like it's
well, they did. They already did, but the problem is that he's playing a ghost, and that's what scares me because they're just doing voice lines from the old show to fill in for whenever Randy talks to him, and it's like. You could tell that's what they're doing, and it's kind of frustrating to me. Like I feel like
it's like that whole scene. It's like that whole scene from Sopranos when Tony's mother dies, and they kind of like deep fake the face and
Okay, continuing on here. So the Awesomes. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that.
No.
Oh yes, I actually have.
The Awesomes is great. Listen to me. Like I know we're running out of time, but I'm just gonna tell you the cat. So it's created by Seth Meyers.
Yep.
Okay.
And he does voice
listen to the voice cast. Ike Barinholtz, Taron Killam, Bobby Lee, Seth Meyers, Paula Pell, Keenan Thompson, Rashida Jones, Bobby Monahan. It's like Bill Hader.
Mad TV meets SNL.
It's all Will Forte's in it, Cecily Strong, Rachel Dratch. It's like it's so good. It's about like a team of really like not capable superheroes that are taking over for one guy's dad, and he's not super powered, but he wants to be a superhero. So he starts this team to fight the villains because his dad's retiring as a superhero. It's kind of like Invincible in a way.
Yeah, but it's just really, it's not as dark as Invincible. It's just more funny.
Yeah, obviously it's a comedy.
Okay.
But also I have one more I want to shout out, Crossing Swords. I know it's 2020, but
that was my MODOK. That's why I was.
It's made by the same people. So I watched this the first time and I wasn't totally sold on it. I reviewed it. I didn't give it a score. Okay. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So it's made by Stupid Monkey Studios or
Chicken.
That's Greens.
Robot Chicken. So John Harvatine comes to my page and writes, "Oh, you didn't like the season?" And I was like, "Well, it was good, but like I didn't know who he was." And he's like, season 2's coming. I'm like, well, I hope they do season 2 better. So like since then we've been talking. He messages me sometimes, and like
that's amazing.
And I always ask him, like, I watched it again, and I actually really like it. It's kind of like really vulgar. Like it has a lot of sex and like blood and they're like little peg figures that don't have arms or legs. But it's so well
the little
done.
figures they made back in the
80s. What's the show called again?
Crossing Swords. It was an Apple exclusive.
Okay.
Hulu.
And it has a big cast too. Nicholas Hoult, Adam Pally, Luke Evans, Seth Green's in it, Tony Hale. Really? Yeah, Tara Strong's in it. Wendy McClellan.
She's in everything.
Yeah. I mean, good show. That's all I have for shows.
I want to mention something. It's fairly new, but I really enjoy it. Is Star Trek Lower Levels.
I love that show.
I haven't got to see it.
It's a fantastic show. If you love Star Trek, definitely give this show a watch. Even if you don't love Star Trek, but you love funny sci-fi.
I think this is my comparison. If you like Futurama or Rick and Morty or Final Space, which I mentioned, if you like any of those three shows, you will automatically like this show. It starts off a bit slow, but it picks up so much. Like I really want to buy the Steelbook at Walmart, but I don't want to pay $30 for it.
Yeah, but I just have to mention it because I don't want to wait 10 years until we do the 2020s.
I mean, I think it's fair. That's a good show.
Well, that's why.
Show too.
That's exactly. I'm going to throw MODOK out there. Like since we're talking about it, we can't wait 10 years. MODOK is amazing. It's my new. I can't wait till the new season comes out. It's my new crack, and they did a great job. Like I was when I watched it first. When I first saw the trailer, I go, please let this be good, because to see MODOK with a family is just really weird. But then when I watched it, every single beat was like just funny to me. Like the 8-bit sound, like everything was just. I love it. Like
it's good.
Is that who is it? What's his name? Oswald. Patton Oswald. Okay.
He actually is. He actually produced it too. He
is also made by the same people.
That made Crossing Swords.
Yeah, and good for
but
them.
at least with Patton Oswald, it's someone who respects and understands the source material too.
Yeah,
so I think that's what.
Well, there's a lot of reference to it, and I guess I'm guessing both y'all have seen both seasons, right? Okay, of course, yeah. So then just watching the thing is if you're a hardcore fan, and this is why even John, I'm surprised you're not surprised I like it, because of me being a big comic book fan. They definitely take a lot of liberties with this show, but it's one of those things where honestly, when you look at Monarch, you really can't take him seriously, and it really helps with the show.
I really like it. I wouldn't go. I don't like it as much as you, but I think it was a pretty good watch. I'm excited for season 2, and I think Ben Schwartz is amazing as the son, especially when there's 2 of them. Hold on, I want to just shout out a show quick. Close Enough, made by the creators of Regular Show, which is one of my favorite shows. If I was gonna add a show to this list, that's kind of a kid show, like he put.
Regular Show
would definitely be on my thing, but they made this show. It's like it basically feels like the adult version of Regular Show, even though Regular Show's kind of already like an adult show.
It's kind of like the
season 1 is really good of Close Enough. Season 2 starts off well and then kind of like tapers off, and I was kind of disappointed. But I think if you're a fan of Regular Show or Adventure Time, I think season 1 of Close Enough is something people will like.
Okay. Good stuff.
Do you have anything else?
That's all for me.
It.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know what your favorite 2010s animated sitcom is in the comments. And if we forgot any, tell us we're stupid. That's Putty. That's JD.